Elena Russo, Director of Development here at PCA.
And I'm Mike Rooney. I'm your head of school.
So we're here today to talk to you about this month's gala and why you're going to want to consider being a part of this special event.
We're really excited. As you know, there's been a long history, which we're going to touch on in a second, of how God has worked powerfully in the seacoast across generations. And what we'd like to do, like we do every year, is invite you to be a part of a community-wide celebration that gathers our community, our current families, former families, and invites them back to celebrate what God has done and what it's going to do, which is really cool.
Yeah. So this is an event. It's our first community-wide event of the whole year. It's what kicks us off, and it's the community that joins us that fuels the plans that we have for our school. And we have a bold vision for our school.
Yeah, so that over the last several years, the board with me and the leadership team and some families that have given us some really good feedback and input really started to think and pray about what God has for us going forward. And we've developed a plan to play that out. It's overlays on a strategic plan, and we are in step 2 of that plan, and I'll tell you more about it later, but this is an exciting time. We're going to update you on where we're at, what God's been doing, and the impact that God has done through PCA, staff, faculty, and coaches on your kids and grandkids, not just recently, but for the years to come.
Yeah. So one of the reasons that you might want to be at this year's gala, particularly if you're a parent or a grandparent, is because you've already invested in your children and in our school by virtue of the fact that you've enrolled your children here. So, smart and successful investors, they get to know their organization and the people behind an organization. It's part of their due diligence before they ever even invest. You've already started to do that when you explored PCA for your kids or when you made the decision to re-enroll your kids. And so now this is allowing you to take the next step, come under the hood with us, learn about what has already been done, learn about what the vision is for the future, hear from alumni and from teachers and from others within our community about the impact that PCA has on their lives.
This is really about your children and grandchildren and how God continues to use PCA to shape who they're going to be. Our great privilege is to walk with them and to help them grow into their God-given potential. And we have programs and budgets that allow us to do that. What we're talking about is what takes us even farther. This is things that only people called by the Lord, like you, can help us to do that is frankly beyond our imagination. And we've seen it in the past. You will hear about miracles that God has done, true miracles, in and through PCA that impacted over 1,000 graduates. I think we're up to 1,100 who are out in the world impacting it for good. And we're taking the next step of trust and faith, what God's going to do for your kids and grandkids and for generations to come. So we look forward to connecting with you on that.
Yeah. You want to talk a little bit about what makes this year's gala so special, why it's got the name it's got this year?
Well, there's 2 parts to it. At least to me, and if anybody knows, if I have any background as a historian, and so anniversary years are significant, and God calls us to remember, and this is a significant milestone for us, anniversary year. And so it is the 45th year since Peter and Betty Miller and the congregation of their church stepped forward in faith and trust and opened a school in the Atlantic Heights neighborhood of Portsmouth. And then we moved from there on to the Wentworth School down in Portsmouth, and then 25 years ago, so there's a silver component that we sort of just realized recently, 25 years ago we came to this campus and God miraculously provided this through a whole series of people. So this is a Sapphire anniversary year. And Elena, you really helped me realize what does Sapphire mean. I mean, these are not kind of things I think about routinely. They're beautiful though, for sure.
So sapphires, one of their attributes is faithfulness. And you talk about a school, particularly in New England, a Christian school, in New England for 45 years. That is evidence of God's faithfulness to Portsmouth Christian Academy. But it's also an opportunity for us to celebrate the faithfulness of the people who have made PCA what it really is today.
and to trust in the Lord that He will continue through people. Typically is how we've seen it. Sometimes miraculously we can't put any human explanation on it. To move on this important mission. Again, I keep talking about your kids and your grandkids. We see them change, see them grow, see them work through tough challenges and persevere and overcome through the Lord's help, through your parenting and grandparenting, and through our work together, and through your churches. And so a lot of that happens right here on this campus, and we're really excited to think about what that would look like in the years to come.
So I'm going to put you on the spot and ask you to talk a little bit about what are the goals of this year's Sapphire Gala?
Yeah, so I think they're probably two or threefold. The first is to really come together before God and to thank God and thank the community for the impact that you've had. And we'll provide some updates on that. It's hopefully greatly encouraging. I think to also share with you and invite you to step into what only God may be calling you to do on these next steps of what we're trying to do in our plan. There's some immediate impacts you can have between really this fall. There's some big things that are really can only happen, or they're going to have to wait a long time. And so we want to bring them to you. The school is not in a make or break situation, thank you, Lord. But there's some great opportunities that will have immediate impact. Some of them are having impact now already for your kids and grandkids that will enable what they're doing right here on campus to really even further deepen who they are and who they're becoming.
And they're going to get to hear about that, some of that, at this
at
month's
the gala. And so the other is to invite you to learn more, right? We don't have time. It's a wonderful celebration coming together, as Elena said, of the community for the first time this year. And so we want that to be the heart of what we do, but we also want to connect with you and follow up one-to-one or in small groups and really help you to see. And I look forward to connecting with many of you. It's one of the main things that I get to do. And it's a joy for me to walk with you on campus or around campus or just for lunch or coffee and really invite you into this next step above and beyond what you already do and to be a part of what God's doing at PCA.
Yeah. So we would love for you to join us at this month's gala. We hope that you'll help us advance the mission and cultivate the vision for PCA's future. The gala is going to be held on Saturday, September 28th, 4:30 p.m. right here on our campus.
And I can't thank you enough. Elaine and I, our community, can't thank you enough for your prayer, support, encouragement, and thank you for your generosity. Thank you for the impact that we get to see up front every day now that we're back in session and this for the 24-25 school year. And we are confident that the Lord will provide and He will bless us in the process. So can't wait to see you at the gala, and if not at the gala, see you on campus soon.